Hello, this video tries to explain how to access the PrepMantra platform for Army Public Schools. In order to access, you first have to have a registered user ID and password which your school administrator or faculty can provide you. Once you have your user ID and password, you have to open up an internet browser, which could be Chrome, Firefox, or any of those. And in the URL address bar, you have to type in aps.prepmantra.com. It will open up this page, which is specifically designed by PrepMantra for Army Public Schools. Now, your school administration would have provided you with a user ID and password specific for PrepMantra. That user ID and password has to be entered over here. So let's enter our user ID and password. Let's click on Go. As you can see, we have reached a screen called Dashboard. The dashboard basically is a summary of all your activity on PrepMantra. On the right hand side, you will see your name over here along with an image which at the moment you have not uploaded. If you click on that name, you will get a pop-up which will show two buttons, Profile and Sign Out. By clicking on Profile, you'll be able to access your profile screen where you can make changes such as in your password or change your profile image, so on and so forth. And you can use this pop-up window and click on Sign Out button to log off from the system. On the left-hand side, you will see a summary of your name, your profile, since when you have been a member, the number of available tests. Now, the important thing to remember over here is that the available tests are basically the templates that are available. So, for example, if you have a test on work, power, and energy, it will show as one test, but this actually would be a test template. So every time you click on work, power, and energy, you will get a different set of question papers, a different set of tests every time. And as you keep on improving, the tests will start becoming more and more difficult. The system automatically monitors your performance in that particular subject or concept, and then tries to make it slightly more difficult than your current level of knowledge and understanding, so that you keep on improving at all the times. All that the system requires for you to do is keep on practicing. So far you have not taken any tests. Your preparation level therefore is not available. And these are the two courses that you have access for. Over here on the left hand side, you see a menu. From here you can see that you have various features to PrepMantra, practice tests, study material, scores and analysis. You can actually go back and look at the historical scores of all the tests that you've taken so far. From this screen itself, you'll also be able to see, review what are the questions and how you've answered them, whether you have answered them rightly or wrongly. And if you have answered them incorrectly, then you'll be able to check what the correct answer is. This is a pretty fun part of the system when you can network with students of your class and of other classes, other sections. You can challenge them to a particular exam of a concept of or a subject. You can message them just like you would in Facebook or Twitter. However, this is insulated so that you will be able to message only to people who are within your class or within your school who are taking similar courses. Also, you can build your network. You can add your connect to other students in your class. The great thing about this is that not only this is encouraging interaction between students, more importantly, it allows you to follow or track a student and see how he or she is doing in how she's practicing, or how she's what courses is she what concepts is she reading about, how many tests she has taken, how she scored in those tests. However, for you to be able to monitor, she has to give you the access to her scores. Also, you can make groups, you can study in groups. If you have any difficulties, you can ask questions of other people who are studying at your level, in your course, in your class or school. And whosoever knows the answer will be able to answer the questions. So let's just dive into study notes. Actually, before diving into study notes, I'll just quickly describe the rest of the screen that we haven't discussed so far. So in the center, you have statistics of all the tests that you have taken earlier on. In this case, since I have not taken any tests, so all my statistics will show 0. and so will the charts that are related to the statistics above. As I start taking tests, I will start seeing the number of tests that I've taken and the average scores that I've had in those tests. It will also track the difficulty level of the tests that I've taken, and this will depend on how fast improving or deteriorating my level of knowledge of that particular subject or topic is. On the right hand side, you have three sections: assignments, recommended reads, and your network. Now, assignments is basically I would say a bulletin board where you get intimations of tests that have been assigned by your teacher. So in this case, I've been assigned two tests, biology and mathematics. They would have their separate deadlines, and I could actually start the test by clicking over here, and it will give me the information about the tests and what is the number of questions, what are the topics that are there in there, and so on and so forth. And it'll also allow me, show me a button which I can click to start the test. More about that later, but the next one is recommended reads, which is now the system continuously tracks how much time you have spent on each topic, each subject that you're studying, and based on the exam deadline and where you have reached so far, it will recommend, okay, you need to study this subject or this topic, you need to be doing this 2-3 times, and so on and so forth. So it helps you kind of pace your study or schedule your study time. And down here is the statistics of your network, which you remember. On the left hand side, there is this, you can build your network, you can connect with people, and so on and so forth. So here it gives you a statistics of how many people are following you, or how many you are following, and if there are any pesky classmates or course mates who are bothering you, you may have blocked them, and those are, here you will see the number of people you have blocked. So now let's just dive into the study notes. You can access study notes either by clicking on this button on the dashboard or through the menu on the third line. You will see study material. Let's go this way for the moment. As you can see, once you click on study notes, you get the same recommended notes that you saw on the dashboard. Also, you get all these topics that form part of your syllabus in over here. You can filter these topics by, first of all, selecting the course that you are looking at, and also within the course, the topic that you want to see. So let's take mathematics. So now you can see these are the various topics for mathematics in class 12, PCM, which is the non-medical field. So as you can see, each topic over here gives you some information as to what is the approximate study time people take for this particular topic, number of practice questions. Just like after every chapter you have exercises, these practice questions are similar to those. Number of videos, and if any user has made any notes, which I'll come to later on, then that user can actually share the notes among his classmates or course mates, and this is where you would see the number of user notes for that particular topic. Now let's select a particular topic to study. How about application of derivatives? So you click on that. And as you can see, we have the page that provides the notes for application derivatives. As you can see, these notes are prepared by PrepMantra. However, there is a source from which it will be taken so that we can then modify it to make it appropriate for our audience. And here in this case, the source is NCERT. On the left hand side, we have the notes as I just mentioned. On the right hand side, you'll get information about where these notes have been taken from before they've been modified to suit us. How much time have you spent on these notes before this? Your friends, how much time on an average they are spending on these notes, and how much time all students in your school have so far spent reading these particular notes on the topic. In addition to the notes and the information, on the right hand side you will also see the related videos for this particular topic. Most likely than not, these videos will actually go topic by topic, heading by heading, as you can see in the notes, so as to provide you at every step of reading and learning they'll be able to provide you some help in terms of somebody teaching you or explaining to you that particular concept. So you can basically click on any of the videos to start learning about that particular concept. The details of the concept that is covered in the notes in the videos are given over here, in addition to who the source, who the video has been made by, and what is the average time for viewing that particular video lecture. In addition to that, you can also click on video lectures on the top right hand side of the screen, where you will be able to see in a sequential format all the video lectures related to application of derivatives. Similarly, you will be able to access each and every topic by clicking on that tile in the list of topics, and you'll be able to access the study notes as well as the video lectures. And you can play these video lectures from either here or on the main study notes screen, which is in this particular case application of derivatives over here. All right, what else? Yes, we have over here a link to user notes. In this case, what you can do is, if there were already some user notes that were provided, that were prepared by some of your classmates or teachers and were uploaded to the platform, and they had made access to this, to their study notes public, then you will see that list over here. In this case, so far, there has been no such upload. So in fact, you can actually create one. This could be for your own personal use, so you could click it private, or you can keep it public by allowing everybody else who's connected with you access to these notes. So for example, if you were to keep it for private, you would basically make very short notes which you would keep for revising or refreshing yourself just before the exams. Or you could make detailed notes and then make it public for everybody else to see it. So you can also, if you have access to some PDF files, which would help you study this particular concept, and this is very important, your teachers could also do the same. You could actually upload those PDF files over here, and those PDF files will then be available on clicking the user notes as you did in the last from the previous page. Please note, each and every PDF file that is uploaded is actually monitored by the systems and our admin people, and so only related study notes related, study related PDF files will be allowed to be publicly available. All right, let's go back. Now let's move on to practice tests. Let me take a moment and mention over here that PrepMantra is an excellent tool for you to be using when you're studying on your own or preparing at home when you do not have access to teachers or mentors. However, it is not a substitute, I repeat, it is not a substitute for the amount of learning and help that you can get from your mentors or teachers, and that should be your primary way of learning. In addition to that, PrepMantra can actually be a very good tool for you to assess what is your current level of knowledge that you have gained in a particular concept by testing yourself and keep on practicing in that particular concept. And the way that the system has been designed is just continuously keep on pushing you further and further ahead, and as you keep on practicing. So take this as a tool which is a good friend of yours when you're studying on your own. Do not take this as a replacement of what the teacher can do and how effective their teaching can be in your improving your performances in the final exams. Let's see now how we can go about taking tests on the PrepMantra platform. As you're aware, from the menu, we had clicked on practice tests to be reaching this particular screen. Just as you had seen in case of study notes, this screen has in tiles all the tests templates that are available for this particular course with all subjects included over there. Now, as we had done in case of the study notes, we can filter these tests based on courses and subjects. Now, let me make an important point over here. Let's say, for example, this test over here of set theories and functions. This is not necessarily one test, it is a test template. So every time you take a test on set theory and functions, by clicking on this particular tile, you'll get a different set of question papers, questions that make up a test. And this will be based or customized to you based on your current level of understanding and performance in set theories and functions. So let's say, for example, from 0 to 10, 0 being the worst, 10 being the best, your current level of understanding or grasp over set theory and functions is, let's say, 7. The system will generate a test which is slightly more difficult than 7, so that as you practice more, as you take more and more tests, you keep on improving. And as you keep on improving, it will start making the questions more and more difficult. The system is so designed that if you are a weak student, it will um, set up question papers which will encourage you in feeling that, hey, you know what, I can take these questions, I can do well in set theory and functions. And if you are a very good student who is excellent in set theory and functions, then believe me, the system will challenge you and frustrate you by providing more and more difficult questions to you. So let's take a test, which, pardon me, but I'm not very good in math. So I'll take a topic which is a little more familiar to me. Let's say a test of probability. Now, as I clicked on that tile, I have reached this particular page, which gives me details of this particular test. So it gives me that this is an MCQs test. A number of questions are 10, maximum marks are 100. The test duration is 10 minutes, and the level of difficulty is difficult as customized to me. Um, in the past, over here we can see the average scores by all students in this topic in your school. Uh, People in your network, since you don't have a network, there is no people who have taken tests in your network. And across, this is these are the top scores in this exam. And over here are the performance histories of the students who have been taking these courses from time to time. Let's click on Start. By clicking on Start, you reach the main exam screen. On the right hand side, you can see a timer that's already on, and I'm running out of time as I'm explaining you this particular screen. By clicking on Exit Exam, you can terminate the exam at any given point of time. You can also see below the question information which is relevant to this particular question over here. So this question is from probability. Now, since this is a single topic question, obviously this would be from probability. But many times when you have subject-wise questions or multiple topic questions, it becomes helpful to understand, okay, which topic this particular question has been taken from. It also tells me what is the difficulty level of this question and the average time expected within which you have to complete this question. Down over here is the question map. So it allows you to navigate between questions by clicking directly on a particular question, and you will reach that question. Another way to navigate through the questions is to click on previous and next. You answer the question by clicking the right option. So in this case, let's quickly go through how many numbers greater than 0 and less than a million can be formed with digits 0, 7, and 8. Oh, no, maybe I'll just make a guess over here and move on. If I do not click any one of these questions, then it will be taken as skipped. There is an important difference between answering a question wrongly and skipping a question. In cases of exams where you have negative marking, if you have answered a question wrongly, then you will be marked negatively for that particular question, which you have answered incorrectly. However, if you have skipped that question will not have an impact on on your marks, at least not in a negative way. So I can just quickly run through with a few questions over there, um, and then I can, at any given point of time, I can just exit the exam, or I can move to a particular question directly, answer that question. Question number 10. I reach question number 10, and I just answer something, and I'll exit the exam. Now, if this timer runs out to 0, then I will automatically get a pop-up saying that your time is up, and I will have no choice but to exit the exam at that time. Um, I will be able to exit the exam if I click on this button, so that is what I will do. and it says submit the exam. The moment I've submitted the exams, it will calculate the scores that I've taken. Now, this exam had negative markings, and I answered um, a question negatively. So I've got a negative marks in this particular question. And it tells me that 1 out of 10 questions I answered correctly. So the other two were definitely wrong. I took 2.6 minutes to answer this question, to answer this test, and the difficulty level was average. I click on review, and it will tell me what questions I answered correctly and what questions I answered incorrectly. If I have answered the questions incorrectly, then it will tell me which is the right answer. So there you go. Over here, as you can see, the red ones are the questions that I've attempted, and I've incorrectly attempted those. In the green are the questions that I've attempted and correctly attempted. So, and the ones in purple are those that I have not attempted at all. That is basically that. Those are the questions that I've skipped. So, as you see, this is how you take tests. You can keep on taking as many tests as you want. There is no limit there to the number of tests you can take. There are tests that are multiple topic as well as single topic tests in here, and yeah. So this is more or less about it. Now let's move on to scores and analysis. This is basically the same as what you saw for the test just immediately after you completed the test that we just took. However, as we keep on taking tests, all the historical test scores will start showing up over here and in these graphs that are present over here. As I had mentioned to you, you can build your network. So for example, these are all the classmates that you have. You can click on any one of them and you will see information or scores that you already would have, they would have taken. For example, let's say if Shubham had taken some tests, then his scores will be shown over here, provided he has allowed access to his questions to all these students. Going back to so over here you have to build your network, people you are following, people who are following you. So let's say you decide, okay, let me connect with Shubham. I'll click on this little icon over here and click on follow. So Shubham will be out from this list of build your network and will start showing up in your influencers. As he takes his exams, it will start showing these are the number of exams at this moment is 0. He has one follower, which is you, and he has not so far texted any messages on the message board. Quickly run through messages. It's the same as Facebook. You can type hello as your status and click on it, and it will start showing over there. Somebody can look at this and start replying. You can hide messages, so on and so forth. You can filter messages from those from your Postmates, those mentioning you, the messages that have your name in there. When somebody challenges you or there is an assignment coming in from the teacher, it will start showing up in those messages, and you can also click on that particular filter to show those assignments and challenges. And finally, notifications is any other messages that have come to you. Again, over here you have a summary of the network statistics as to how many people you're following or connected with otherwise. So that's basically it, I guess. Happy learning.